Sophia here. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with Mom.
Hello.
And we are doing episode number 3 in my Learn to Sew with Mom series. And I'm going to show you what we're doing today. Essentially, I'm going to show you how to stay stitch, reinforce a piece of fabric that you're about to sew, but that is cut in bias so that it doesn't get deformed or whatever. And I will start with assembling the sleeves, and Mom, who's been home while I'm at work, is a little bit ahead of me with regards to her robe, so she's going to show you how to do the cord, the trim cord on the collar. I'll do mine at a later time. All right, so first things first, let's have Mom explain how to do the cord on the collar.
Nous allons aujourd'hui poser un cordonnet le long du col qui sera le parement de la pièce que nous faisons. Alors le cordonnet se pose au bord du travail, tout le long, parce que nous allons coudre plus tard au ras ici de façon à se retrouver comme ça.
Okay.
C'est un travail minutieux et très long.
Okay.
Nous avons besoin donc de coudre comme je l'ai fait ici, on bâtit au départ. Nous allons aussi coudre celui-ci au ras de l'autre. Mm-hmm. Et quand nous allons retourner, nous serons comme ça. Voilà. Pour coudre ce genre de choses, il faut absolument un pied comme celui-ci.
Et c'est quoi comme pied, ça?
C'est le pied de la couture des fermetures éclairs.
Okay.
Qui glisse le long du cordonnet. Voilà, tout le long.
Mais tu vas coudre sur le rouge.
Alors, le rouge sera de ce côté-là. Il faudra les solidariser, ce que je n'ai pas fait actuellement, et nous allons coudre comme ça, tout le long, pour avoir ces 3 pièces réunies de cette façon-là. Voilà.
Okay.
À l'endroit, nous aurons ça. À l'envers du col, nous aurons ça.
Okay. Voilà. Et le challenge, quand tu fais ça, c'est quoi?
La préparation est très importante et il ne faut pas hésiter à défaire et à refaire, parce que souvent, lorsque nous avons une courbe comme nous l'avons ici, nous risquons d'avoir des vagues avec le cordonnet. Donc il faut que le cordonnet soit tenu correctement tout le long. Voilà. Okay. Et travailler à plat, toujours, et ne pas travailler comme ça, parce que c'est un moyen d'avoir des vagues et de devoir recommencer.
I have placed the back and one sleeve together. You're looking at the back right here, and you can see how this is a raglan sleeve, right? I just showed that to you. So I was looking at the pattern, and the pattern is asking for me to do a stay stitch on the edges here on the top of the collar and all the way down to the bottom of the sleeve, and same thing here all the way to the other side of the other sleeve. And a stay stitch is basically a row of straight stitch that's about 2/8, maybe a little bit more, of an inch from the edge. It's just a line of stitching that you do like that. You're not joining any fabric, you're just doing that stitching on one single layer. Mom is going to explain to you why you need to do stay stitch and when you need to do stay stitch. Pourquoi est-ce que je dois faire une ligne de couture de soutien à la machine, à peu près 1/2 cm du bord, en haut du col là, tout le long derrière la manche et l'autre manche? Quel est le but et l'avantage?
Le but est de soutenir le tissu qui a été coupé et qui s'est déformé au moment de passage des ciseaux. Donc il faut, en cousant à la machine, rendre l'emmanchure beaucoup plus solide, raide.
Ça l'empêche de se déformer.
Ça l'empêche de se déformer tout le long comme ça, c'est tout. Parce que là, quand on coupe, ça devient du biais. Donc il faut soutenir la manche, l'emmanchure.
Donc en gros, c'est un renforcement.
C'est un renforcement, oui.
Ok. Alors je le fais derrière, pourquoi je ne le fais pas devant?
Parce que devant, le tissu est en creux, alors que là, elle est concave. Et elle se déforme beaucoup plus que dans un creux.
So one thing I want to show you is that I'm starting from the back of the sleeve. And I'm going to move all the way up to the collar. Now, because I'm doing a raglan, my collar, the back of my collar is very short. If it was a regular shirt or, robe, it would be about this big. So what you do is that you go from here to there, all the way to the middle, and then you stop here. And then you do the same thing from the other side going this way. So basically when you look at the back of your robe or your shirt or whatever, your stitches are going this way, facing each other. And it just helps pulling all the fabric towards the center back to avoid any kind of stretching. And this is the middle of the back. Couple of stitch back, forward, okay. And now my stay stitch here allows my fabric to not pull or get distorted. And now I'm going to go on the other side and do exactly the same thing going this way. So I did the back, so now I'm taking my sleeve, if you remember the sleeve that I did, and I have a side that is a short curve and a side that is a deeper curve, and I'm going to stay stitch the deeper curve. Same thing, because otherwise it's going to move and get distorted. Now if you want to, right here, you can make little clips just to give it a little bit more ease. Here, 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 here. Alors là, tu travailles à plat.
Chose qui a été bâtie là. Maintenant on bâtit comme ça. deuxième, de façon à se retrouver comme ça.
Okay. So I'm in the middle of placing my sleeve. Right now I'm basting. Okay. That's a challenge on its own. And then Mom over there is prepping a collar, so she's basting also. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a sleeve, and I just did one. You probably saw me do a little bit of stitching. I'm gonna redo the whole thing to show you. But this is one of my raglan sleeves. I've placed it and sewn the whole thing. Look at this. Pretty good over here. So let me show you how I did this, because I managed to do the folded, or we're going to call it applied French seam on the top. That was the first one, but I also did it at the bottom, and that one was hard to do. So let's make a sleeve. Okay, so this is my sleeve that I did the other day with the French seam, which I've completed with another row, you remember? So before I do anything, I need to close it. All right, like this here. And once this is done, then I'll have a tube, and that's the part that I'm going to sew on the side of the robe. First things first, I am going to match my notches here and here. Right, you remember I had to do a gather over here, and I'm going to pin them so I have the exact marks that I need here and here. Then I'm going to pin everything, and we've learned from Mom that you do the pinning and you do the basting on flat. So this goes here, this goes here, don't need one here. Flannel, unfortunately, it's not a very slippery fabric. Everything kind of like sticks to each other. Okay, and this goes here. When you mark your dots from the pattern, they basically show you where to start your sewing line. So you go dot to dot, and when you're going to sew, you start at the dot and you finish. Unless there's a dot on the other side, then you'll stop there. But you start at the dot, you don't go all the way beyond the dot. This I will have to baste it and flatten it at the same time. So let me get started. I'm just going to cut a little bit. Remember to start on the dot that you marked. This is where the seam starts or ends. Okay, and I'm following the edges. My little flap is on the inside right here, and I'm sewing right before it so I can enclose it. back to the iron and I'm going to flatten it on one side, this side here. Okay, so what I did was flip it the other way around so I could flatten it. I'm going to flip it back this way, and this is where it gets really hard, because now I need to do the additional stitch that goes along here. Okay, let's put it inside out, or right side out rather, and look at it. So here's the original one and here's the one I just did. Okay, and it worked. I have a little bit of pucker here, but that's the inside of the elbow. It's alright, but it worked. And on the inside, it totally contained that little flap, so it's not irritating the arm or anything. It's a nice finish. Let me iron it and then do the rest of the sleeve. Alright, so to place my sleeve the same way that I did this, I need to go work on the other side. Okay. And the sleeve is basically going into this part right here, because that's the back of the neck, right? Remember, it's a raglan, so that's this part right here. Okay, but I'm working right side to right side. So let me flip it. Okay, and here's my sleeve. I'm going to put it under it. Right side, right side. And the first thing I need to do is match my seams here. Here. I still have my little dots. I'm going to look for my dot and match the dots. I'm matching the dots and I'm matching the seams. And pin. Then when I get to the back part of it, no, that's the front. Here's the back. I know it's the back because I get 2 notches. I'm going to match the 2 notches that's on the back of the sleeve to those 2 notches here and pin. I'm really sorry about the furnace. And then for the front of the sleeve, I have 1 notch I need to match to this notch. And pin. Okay. Here I have 1 dot. I'm going to match it to this dot. And pin. And on the other side I have 1 dot. I need to match to this dot. And pin. Okay. So now I have my sleeve inserted inside the robe. So what I need to do now is go around the circle, and I'm going to pin everything flat. I don't want any buckle or anything. Everything's got to get flat. So I got to pin everything first. And once everything is pinned, I will baste. So I removed the part of the machine that makes a table so that I can put my sleeve all around it, right, like this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and sew at 3/4 of an inch, making sure that it's flat here. So I gotta feel it as I'm sewing. You gotta go slow. And I'm starting again at the dot, because that's the beginning of the seam line. I don't know why I did that. Okay, here we go. So before I do anything, let's look at it. And here's the sleeve that I just sewn right here. I have the seams almost matching. I'm not redoing it. It's not a big deal. I'm more interested in making sure I don't have any pucker. Okay, so that's that. Next step is removing my basting. And now I'm going to apply a bias tape all around it, just like I did here, to finish it off, so that when you take it off like this, it has the bias tape on the inside. It looks neater, okay? But in order to do that, I'm going to cut this seam just a tad, because it's a bit too long. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut this, but not by much, because I don't want to weaken it. And remember, some areas I have the stay stitch, so I'm going above the stay stitch. I'm removing maybe 2/8. And I'm going to first pin it. So bias tape is basically a ribbon that opens up like this, right? And it folds. So you just put it like a, I don't know, like a horse, I guess, right on top of the seam, and pin like this, making sure the seam goes all the way inside the crease. and I'm back at it. So technically I should baste, but I'm just gonna keep it pinned. And I changed the thread color, by the way. I'm doing white. Okay, let me make the stitch a little bit bigger. Alright, the goal is to catch the one underneath. That's why you want to pin it. And here goes. Okay, so I just put the color, you know, kind of quickly. Obviously I have to position it better, just to show you what it looks like. It's got to get cut because I cut it long. So I could cut it later on when we measure Willie, and then the sleeves, same thing. But here's the sleeve that I did earlier, and here's the new sleeve that I just did. Let me move this so you can see. So here's my seam. Right, this is not pressed. I need to press it. And here's the other one that you saw me do. Hold on. There we go. That's the other one that's underneath, and this is what it looks like on the underside. All right, I didn't press it yet. I'm a little off. It's kind of not great, but I'm not redoing it. It's not a big deal. The other one is much better. Hold on. There we go. The other one is right on. Okay, so it's not a big deal. But they are both, let me move this. They both have the bias tape on the inside to cover the seam. And that's kind of nicely tailored. I like that. Okay, so let's check progress with Mom. And then Mom started on her collar, and we did the piping right here, and she's gonna finish that tomorrow. Hey, so this is the end of episode number 3. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. We are making great progress, and I think we might have 2 more episodes and both robes will be done. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner and hit that bell button so you get notified anytime I post a new video, in particular in this series. And comment down below, let me know if you enjoyed those, if you want me to continue. I mean, obviously Mom is going to go back to France for a little bit, so it's just going to be me doing some sewing. I still have a lot to learn, but let me know down below if you want me to continue doing sewing videos. And that would be it. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at mygreatchallenge. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, patreon.com/mygreatchallenge for exclusive content, including content with Mom, and my new Instagram account for my vintage shop, Frenchie and Tubby. That's Instagram at Frenchie and Tubby. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.